All right, so we're on to the next episode of Dragon Ball Super. This is episode 75, and this episode is called Goku and Krillin Back to the Old Training Grounds. Now, this episode was all right. This is another one of those moments in Dragon Ball Super that gets a little frustrating, though, where the inconsistency in the strength and ability of these characters in Dragon Ball Super is just outrageous. So, the episode opens up with this scene that actually has a number of interesting things in it. Basically, what's happening is Chi-Chi brings Gohan to come train with Goku because Goku is bored and he wants a sparring partner. Now, what then happens is they talk about all the different people who are busy who can't actually train with Goku right now. First, they talk about Whis, and we see a flashback to where Whis tells Goku that he's actually going to a Universe Supreme Kai and God of Destruction joint summit. So I'm like, oh shit, like kind of like the 5 Kage summit from Naruto or some shit. Okay, so that's probably leading into the Universal Survival arc. And then they mention Vegeta, and Goten is like, well, he was just glaring at Father like this. And it's like, oh, okay, could that be that Vegeta finding out that Bulma's pregnant? Again, leading to the Universal Survival arc. Then they talk about Piccolo, and Piccolo is with Dende on business. So it's like, okay, now we're officially getting into it. Like, gears are clearly in motion. Obviously, a Supreme Kai God of Destruction summit. Like, yeah, there's a lot of stuff that looks like we're moving in that direction. So Gohan turns into Great Saiyaman, and him and Goku begin sparring. Goku goes Super Saiyan, Gohan goes Super Saiyan. It's not a terrible battle. The animation is solid too. It wasn't trash or anything. It was a good little mini fight. Now, another interesting thing that happens is Goten is talking about how, Gohan's outfit looks really stupid. And Chi-Chi goes, but you said it looked cool in the movie, and Goten was like, yeah, that's in a movie, not out here in real life. And Chi-Chi laughs and she goes, Goten-chan is growing up. And it's like, yeah, bitch, he's growing up. He should be like, Goten and Trunks are like 14 and 15 or 13. They're somewhere like between 12 and 15 right now. They're not fucking 5-year-old kids anymore. Come on. Eventually, Goku and Gohan's fight starts to get too destructive, and Chi-Chi tells him to cut the bullshit out. And Goten kind of suggests Krillin at this point. And it's pretty funny because Goku is doing push-ups with Goten on his back, and Goten mentions Krillin, and Goku goes, huh? And then you see Chi-Chi, and Chi-Chi's like, he's busy with his job as a police officer. And she looks down, and Goku is just gone, and the front door is wide open. That was pretty funny to me. But then we get into some real fucking bullshit. This is like, this is the part about Dragon Ball Super I hate the most. So we see Krillin working his job as a police officer, and he corners a couple of burglars. And Krillin is with 2, regular beat cops. And these burglars, they have like AKs and machine guns and shit, and they're shooting the police car with bullets, and Krillin and these other police officers are hiding behind it. And I'm like, okay, Krillin, go knock them out and with your pinky. Can you go do that now? And, they're like, oh, Krillin-san, what do we do? And the one cop starts busting back at him, and he's about to get hit by a bullet, and Krillin jumps in the way, and, like, he takes the shot, and, like, he's bleeding, and he's injured, and they're like, oh, Krillin, what are we gonna do? And Krillin is just sitting there hiding behind the car. I'm like, what? Hold on. Time the fuck out for a second. The very first time we see Krillin, he is already beyond human limits, essentially. When Krillin first appears, he is strong enough to train with Goku and to train with Master Roshi under those brutal training conditions that they went through. We see, from the very first time we're introduced to Goku, Goku is messing regular humans the fuck up. It's inconsequential to him. So now, here we are. Let's not even get into all of the training Krillin has done. I mean, do you think Frieza, like if Frieza got shot by burglars, what do you think would happen? Like nothing. Like it's very frustrating. You can't tell me that just because Krillin has given up fighting, he's now down to like the capability of regular human. That doesn't even make sense because we see him flying later in the episode. Like this level of inconsistency to me, I just really don't like. Not when regular damn humans are Krillin gets trashed by 2 regular ass humans. Like, what the fuck? Then Goku shows up, and of course he he takes him down in 2 seconds. And then the scene skips to inside of Krillin's house, and you see Goku is playing with Marin. So it's like, see, this is something I do like. They're showing Goku as so childish and so dumb all the time, but with a couple scenes with him interacting with Pan and now with Marin and stuff, we do see that he does at least kind of have like that fatherly ability in him. And Goku asks Krillin to train with him. And Android 18 comes in, and she basically just speaking of trash, she trashes Krillin and goes, "I can't believe you got hurt by a mere gunshot. The man I fell in love with wasn't such a spineless weakling." And it's like, damn! Then at that point, we see, it's interesting. It's kind of almost like a standoff scene where Krillin is like hesitant to train with Goku because obviously, Goku's got his Super Saiyan Blue abilities and all this crazy bullshit. And like you see Android 18 is very disapproving of this weakness that's developed in Krillin. And it's kind of like a standoffish scene where Krillin is kind of thinking about what he wants to do. And Marin finally says, "I want a strong daddy." And Krillin agrees to do training. Then we see Goku and Krillin, they're doing a little training, a little back and forth. And it's actually interesting. They talk about how this reminds them back in the days of when they were originally training together with Master Roshi. And we see some shots of that original training, and it looks like they reanimated it. It looks pretty good. We see, them delivering the milk, plowing the fields, that old training that they did back in episode, 15 and 14 of Dragon Ball, I believe it was. Goku and Krillin, they decide that they want to go train with Master Roshi again. And so they head there, and it's very reminiscent of, way earlier in Dragon Ball. That's what a lot of these episodes are. It seems like they are really trying to bring Dragon Ball, not specifically Dragon Ball Z, but a lot of the things, techniques, knowledge of Dragon Ball. I can tell that Dragon Ball Super wants to let the newer generation who's watching this show, in on all that stuff that happened. Because you gotta remember, there's, 10-year-old Japanese boys watching this shit over in Japan, and it's like, Dragon Ball came out 20 years before they were fucking born. And you see Krillin presents Master Roshi with like a porno mag, just like way a long time ago, and he has as funny as a reaction as ever. It's really good. Now, Krillin's motivation for doing this training and getting stronger is he wants to be a more adept policeman. Again, this is straight fucking bullshit, because any normal human, Krillin should be able to move faster than they can even blink, and he should be able to take them out with a slight tap from his pinky. So the whole setup for this is irritating, but let's go with it. Now, this is where we get into the scene where I do like, where Master Roshi has Goku get in this like ridiculous turtle outfit that's just awesome, which I guess is like really supposed to weigh him down. And Goku and Krillin start training. And again, I gotta say, the animation to me was very, very solid. Like this, if it would stay consistently at this level the entire time, like no one would complain at all. Like this was fine. Like, yeah, there's some moments where characters, the proportions are a little wonky, especially at the very end of the episode I'll talk about. But, I mean, this is at a very acceptable level that I hope they could just at least maintain this. So Goku and Krillin, they have their training, their sparring. Of course, even with this giant suit on and limitations that Goku can't fly and can't go Super Saiyan, even with all of these, he still defeats Krillin pretty easily. Not surprising. And then we see Master Roshi kind of tells Krillin that, like, he sees doubt in him, and he says, like, every step you take, every move you make, I can see doubt in your actions. And it's like, okay, so Krillin is being real tortured right now. Now, we do know that Krillin does eventually join the Universal Survival Arc team coming up in a couple episodes, so I guess, if these episodes are just gonna work towards, talking about how Krillin is going to be on that team or whatnot, like, it's fine, it's fine. So the next day, Master Roshi sends Goku and Krillin to go get this herb from an island called the Paradise Plant. So Goku and Krillin head over there. It's kind of a race, and Master Roshi says that whoever gets back first with it gets a special rare, like, porno magazine. And Goku's like, I don't want that. And Master Roshi's like, oh, how dare you mock your master? And Goku's like, I don't want what I don't want. And it's like, oh, wow, look at this sage advice from Goku. But Master Roshi says he'll teach them a technique to raise their energy in an instant. Obviously, some made up bullshit. So Goku and Krillin, they head to this island. And there they meet fortune teller Baba. And she says that Master Roshi, had her come to sort of monitor the race between Goku and Krillin. Now, obviously, fortune teller Baba being there has to do with what happens next, which is where as Goku and Krillin are walking through this island, this forest, eventually we see kind of a quick image get hit, Krillin get hit by, of like a lot of the moments of weakness that he's had throughout the episode. And then a bunch of smoke comes up out of nowhere, and many villains from the past show up. We see Vegeta and Nappa, the Saiyan Saga versions. We see Cell, Frieza, the Ginyu Force. And then, more interestingly, we see young King Piccolo. And then the very last one that materializes before the episode ends, and that causes Krillin to fall back, on his ass, is Tambourine, the first character who originally killed Krillin. Krillin is just like stunned by this and falls to the ground. Now, I do gotta say, that is pretty good, because that is one of my favorite parts of the entire series, is Goku's 2 battles with Tambourine. The first battle where he gets defeated because he's still worn out from his battle with Tien at the tournament, and then when he gets revenge and kills Tambourine, for killing Krillin. That part is so damn good. I remember the music specifically in that second fight. It's kind of like the I can't do it, but the music is really good. I always love that part so much. Also, we see Majin Buu, and it appears to be Super Buu, which would make sense because Super Buu is the one who actually killed Krillin. Obviously, it wasn't Fat Buu or Kid Buu, even though in anime filler scenes, Krillin did battle Kid Buu, which is funny. But Super Buu is the one that killed Krillin. Obviously, Final Form Frieza killed Krillin, and Tambourine also killed Krillin. All of the characters present here, Krillin has fought them all or seen them all, except for young King Piccolo. Krillin never saw young King Piccolo. He was dead the entire time King Piccolo was basically a villain, and he wasn't resurrected until after Goku defeated King Piccolo, and then, he spat out Piccolo Jr. So I was kind of thinking maybe these were images coming from Krillin's head, but he wouldn't be too sure of exactly what, King Piccolo looks like. So, whatever. All in all, solid episode. It's every episode there's some bullshit that fucks with the continuity and canon and all that crap, but Krillin being trashed by regular ass burglars with machine guns, come on, man.